And then last year, I noticed that it was becoming acute enough to where I was not really seeing very well. As it turns out, my vision was getting quite bad in my right eye. What is it, 2200 or something like that. And I couldn't really make out shapes. I couldn't really see in 3-dimension, which is a little bit unnerving. But then when I did find out exactly what was wrong, I was then concerned, and I was not very anxious to go to a surgeon to have any kind of surgery. I'm sort of adverse to surgery at best. I was wondering where I was going to find a place, and I actually figured that I was going to have to start looking in Boston, because I figured that Boston is probably going to be the closest place to find anything. And it was actually, as I recall, it was a radio ad that I heard. I just picked it up, and it just rung in my ears. And I thought, well, I better check this out online, and I did. And then I found out that your facility here existed. I had no idea it existed. So I looked at it closer and focused on it. And for the first time, I actually considered taking a next step to getting an operation. Yes, I did quite a bit of research online. I just wanted to find out if I was going to take a step like this. I was wanting to find out the best facilities that might be available. And I was really quite at a loss as to which way to take, until I discovered that there is a possibility to have surgery done by laser, and to have a multifocal lens to restore the vision I used to have. One of the triggering events was in talking to a person who had gone through cataract surgery. I was just developing, along with my apprehension, I was developing an understanding that I needed to do something. And I met a person who had gone through cataract surgery, through the usual route. And he could see afterwards, but he wore heavy glasses. And I thought, well, he can see at least. He doesn't have the cataract, but that's not, for me, is there something better out there? My normal thought about doctors, for various reasons, is a bit of skepticism, and I tend to avoid going to doctors whenever I can. I guess that's natural enough. And but when I came here, I came to take a look, and yes, the place was just as I thought, and I stepped in, and it's hard to describe because I've been in all sorts of facilities here and elsewhere where there was my immediate discomfort level and my apprehension. Quite the opposite took place here. Here I felt like I was at home. And it's a feeling, it's an ambiance that I wouldn't get in other places. I hadn't gotten, even the other eye doctors who had, I've been checked at two different eye doctors, and no, the atmosphere was not the same. When I came here, I felt relaxed immediately, and I wanted to go further. Here, as soon as I started to go through my preliminary examinations, I was overwhelmed by the technology that was here. And it wasn't just throwing a bunch of wonderful machines at me. It was just the knowledge that the realization that I was talking to knowledgeable people who were really skilled and trained in what they were doing. And that increased my comfort level enormously. And then I had learned about the laser surgery, which could perhaps be an improvement on the surgery techniques that were extant before. And I bought it. I thought it's well worth taking that extra step to have the incisions done laser by laser than by surgery. And certainly it is proven to be wonderful, because it was almost nothing. I don't know if I can describe the surgery, but it was it was not an unpleasant experience. I can tell about my actual experience. I wasn't even very apprehensive here, like I thought I was going to be, because it builds up so gradually to surgery that it flows. And by the time I was ready for my surgery, I was feeling absolutely comfortable and just wondering, out of curiosity, what was going to be the next step. And once I started getting the laser machine turned on, it was more like watching a light show, like fireworks on the 4th of July. Saw lots of bright colored lights and things happening, and it was kind of interesting, but painful, no. And I walked out into the room where we just were, and my wife was there, and I just had a big smile on my face. I can see in 3 dimensions. Everything is bright. The emotion of suddenly experiencing full vision for the first time since for a dozen years. Suddenly everything was clear. No discomfort. Even at that point, there's no discomfort. I talked to Dr. Young earlier. I said it was like a miracle. I guess it was Dr. Young's son who did the surgery. And I was almost, you know, if I had dry eyes, I'd have been almost in tears. Importantly, for me, I zeroed in my scope yesterday. And that's this eye I needed for that. I couldn't use it before. I was wondering how I was going to ever use my rifle again, because I couldn't. I'd have to go like this to even look through my scope. Now I'm eagle eye.